Go, it says. It says go. Run, Forrest, run. We were back in the studio.
In the 70s.
Back in the 70s. Hello, everybody. Thank you for clicking on. We've been on the road a little bit.
Yeah.
With episodes. Sherman
Stockton.
Great episode.
Oh, yeah.
And
genius.
Yesterday we talked with Benito DiBartoli, which is already out on Facebook if you haven't seen that.
He's fun.
It turned into a blooper episode because, spoiler alert, somebody comes in to look around the guitar store while we're filming the podcast. And then for some reason, the memory went full and the camera shut off. And it was shorter than all the other videos we've ever done.
Yeah.
But normally I'm behind the camera, I'm monitoring it. But, with Benito, you got to get up there and talk with him. And,
Yeah.
So we've decided that instead of trying to do a third episode with Benito when we can't get through one, obviously.
Yeah.
We're just going to kind of make
happening.
Yeah, just weird stuff keeps happening. We're going to make him, an official guest of the show. So he's going to just be on with us occasionally, every month or once every month or so when it fits his schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he's not out touring.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for those that don't know, Benito DiBartoli just came off the road with Tommy Two-Tone.
Yeah.
8675309. Yeah. And he started playing it. And he's also been the side man for Ed Money, as he calls him. We know him as Eddie Money.
Yeah.
And Lou Graham from Foreigner.
Yeah.
So,
And all different personalities.
Yeah.
Go out on the road with.
Yeah. It's a great episode, even though it's a blooper episode.
There's a lot of good stuff there.
There's a lot of good stuff there.
Yeah.
And then coming up next Monday, we're going to premiere the episode with Mark Christopher Rohrman and Bill Hayes. Currently the rhythm section of the Flying Toasters. And if you watch the show, there are very few bands that we recommend you go see whenever you get the opportunity. And one of those bands is the Toasters.
The Flying Toasters. They're awesome.
Yeah. Orvis and
Friends. If you see Orvis and
Friends, that's a branch off of the Toasters. And we got to hook up Orvis and Sherman. Yeah. So anyway, thank you all for clicking on. And this is our 20th episode already.
Yeah. Jeez.
Yeah.
It goes fast.
It does. And
slow down.
Yeah. Slow down. You're moving too fast. You gotta make the moment last. Okay. Kicking around the cobbles. Feeling groovy. Anyway, that was really random and impromptu kind of thing there, wasn't it?
Loving
Spoonful. We talked about so much with Mark and Bill yesterday.
Yeah. A lot of stuff I had no idea.
Oh yeah. Oh, and there are so many great people that have blessed us with coming on and graced us in telling their stories, and we got a lot more.
Oh yeah,
we got a lot more to cover.
Oh yeah. There will be a part 2 at least.
Oh, a part 2 with those guys?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And there may be something we're not going to talk about, we're not going to put any kind of hex or jinx on anything, but there may be something that fairly significant comes together out of all this. Yeah. Which I think would be just so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're trying to have maybe a jam.
Well, yeah, I don't want to talk too much about it.
Yeah, because we got an episode on it, don't we?
Not yet.
Sometime.
Oh, we will have, of course.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah. And also, not the same jam, but coming up is Stevie Ray Vaughan Day, August 27th, I believe, is the day.
Yeah, it's going to be every year on August 27th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so when we find out the details on that, we'll make sure and pass that along to everybody. We got a couple of minutes here while we wait. Coming up this coming Saturday, we talked about Benito. Benito's going to be at the Harley Davidson and Fishers from noon until 4 this Saturday.
That where Henry was supposed
Henry's going to be there, and Benito's going to be at the Harley Davidson this Saturday, August 9th, from noon to 4. And then Henry Lee Summer. Henry's going to be there August 23rd. And again, that is at the Harley Davidson in Fishers. They got a real nice area, set up for bands to set up on, and where you can get adult beverages and such.
Yeah.
And
necessities.
It spurs the party along. We'll say that. Got a text here. And let me check this real quick. Oops. Sorry about this. This is killer video, isn't it?
Yeah.
Silence.
Silence is golden.
But we are communicating with our guest
of honor.
Yeah, coming up here in just a couple of minutes. And where was I at? Henry Lee Summer is going to play up there August 23rd.
Yeah.
In Fishers. Benito's there in Fishers, noon to 4 this coming Saturday. You playing anywhere this coming Saturday?
No.
Okay.
No.
I'm going to try. I've got to work Friday and Saturday both, and maybe Wednesday. I'm going to try to get to the Rathskeller Saturday because Rods and Cones is playing at the.
Yes. I'm off.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're not playing this Saturday, so we may have a special Live Indiana Rocks episode from the Rathskeller with PK.
So PK.
And the opening act is no slouch. It's Phil Purley and the Enablers.
Oh, yeah.
So
wow,
the place ought to be packed.
Yeah, I would imagine.
And that's this Saturday night. And we're waiting on a call here. Hopefully I don't have the time zones mixed up. I don't think I do.
I don't think we're on this.
I don't think so.
We in the same time zone?
No, we'll wait a couple of minutes and I'll call if.
Nope.
No, we're not on the same time zone.
No.
No.
Missouri and us?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
No, actually, some of Indiana's not on the same time zone as us.
Wow.
Yeah, down by Evansville and up by Chicago.
Oh, so
they're on Central Time.
Yeah, okay. They're on Central Time all the time.
All the time. Yeah. Yeah, and we're on Eastern all the time. So you can
not all the time. We have to switch.
Yeah, but we're on like Eastern Standard or Eastern Daylight.
Yeah.
We used to have to switch from Eastern to Central and Central back to Eastern. Which made us unique because we had like a totally different time zone there for a while.
Thanks for something else to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and call here and see if we can.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. It's one of those sinus. Hopefully this.
Oh,
Hopefully this works.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Say it again.
How are you?
I'm all right. Hold on. I'm watching American Ninja Warrior, thinking that I am one. So there you go. Thinking I have the youth and the mobility to make something like this happen.
It's crazy how the strength and agility those people have that just kind of scoot through all those different obstacles.
Yeah, exactly right, man. It's pretty impressive, really. But I was like that when I was that age. The only problem, I was overweight then too.
Oh.
It stopped me from the rings and the monkey bars in the playground, which could have made me a ninja warrior in my day.
Well, we are talking to the one and only the Atom Smasher, Asher Benrubi, and there was no bigger personality on radio in your time than you.
Well, I thank you very much for that. There's a lot of strong guys on the air back then. Buster Bodine was a strong guy. Mike Griffin, Chris Connor. Just that was a whole crew that really ruled the airwaves of Indianapolis and central Indiana at that time, just because not only of the personality, but also of the kind of music played on the air.
And that was like the golden era of radio in Indianapolis.
Yeah, that was pretty good and strong time. It was an era when, well, radio was supporting music back then, meaning that they would support bands like, for example, us, Roadmaster, Faith Band, Champion, various other bands that they played their music on the air, and bands were able to move on and upward in the echelon of music and become something that they couldn't have become had it not been for great radio stations and various personalities on those stations putting forth the promotion.
Totally agree.
Oh, yes.
Sitting right here with me is my co-host Mel Cupp, and Mel was the drummer of a band called Primeval back then.
I remember Primeval.
All right, okay.
I remember that. But Primeval, for example, was a different kind of band than us. They were stronger, they were harder, they were harsher, they were magnificent in their own way.
Hey, I loved you guys, man. You guys were fun to watch. when
we were
played
fun in my day. Originally, it started out with Frenchie and the Wee Wees, OUI at Shortridge High School, and we started as a party band there. We kept it going as Pure Funk at Indiana University. Kept it going as Roadmaster. Then Roadmaster transitioned into more of a concert-esque type of band, and just went on to fantastic things. And we had a good blessing on us as far as my time in the band was concerned. And then Steve McNally took over after I departed, and the band just had a humongous sonic about him. It was a fantastic era.
Yeah, it was for sure.
And part of that sound was Michael Reed, Toby Myers.
Yep.
And
Ricky Bennick.
And Ricky Bennick,
Yep.
And you can't go wrong with those guys.
Oh, no. I remember you. I
That was a
remember you
monster
guys.
crew right there, man.
Yeah.
I remember you guys with Roger Holloway playing drums, and you guys was just it was hilarious and awesome.
Oh, great party! It was
a party. You couldn't go
party.
see it without having a party. It was a
That's
lot
also
of
been
fun,
my
man.
kind of like my modus operandi was to give people a good time. I was more about the good time as opposed to the music itself. Although we wrote some good songs back in my part of the Roadmaster band, for example, and then after I took off, then just other great material came, and the band just was a kick-ass band in all designs in each of the eras, because crowds got off on that band.
Yeah.
I'm going to play a little something I found on YouTube. It's from the Pure Funk reunion, and I just want those that aren't aware, I want them to be able to dig on the smash for a little bit here.
Okay. Yeah, it's one of my favorite songs, man.
Oh,
Anyway, okay. I thought it was going to cut me off.
Yeah, that was a great reunion. That was a great reunion. That was a really great time, and the beauty of that whole thing is that it was the rekindling of friendships that put everything in its place, so that everybody could step off and step onward and propel themselves to whatever the next was. Because in those days we didn't know what the next was, because there's a different era, especially in in consideration of and in contrast to the way things are done nowadays. It was really, to me, more of a straight people type of thing. We were right there with the crowd. The crowd was right there with us, and the crowd partied with us, and that's always been my modus operandi, and that is provide entertainment value, whether it be something as small, shall we say, as a fraternity party, or sizable as we played the various arenas, Market Square Arena, for example, and others.
Yeah. Wow. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, it was awesome days, and boy, there's all kinds of great stories with that. That era, as we were coming up and moving on and moving along with the various other bands like us that were making their steps into what would be a job in the business of rock and roll, becoming rock and roll stars, however you want to call it. And we were able to take those steps because we had good associates, starting with the audience, then the radio stations, then management through the guys at Top Banana Talent, the guys at Sunshine Promotions. Then onward from there, we got blessed with the opportunity to meet Todd Rundgren. He dug the band Roadmaster, invited us onto his bus. I was sitting back there with him, and he said, "What do you guys want to do?" I said, "We wanted to do an album." And he said, "Well, yeah, how are you going to get that done?" I said, "Well, we're going to get that done because we want you to be a producer." And so he started chuckling, and he said, "I could do 3 songs for you." And he did 3 songs on the album. We came up to Bearsville, New York, to his studio, state-of-the-art studio in a barn, and it was the first time we had ever seen skylights in a roof. We got to stay in his house. He had skylights in a roof. He had a big screen TV before the days of big screen TVs, and it's like, holy mackerel, this is some way to live. We want us some of this. And that whole attitude of we want us some of this really kind of started with the, like it started for everybody, is with the view and the hearing of the Beatles on the Ed Sullivan Show, Rolling Stones after that, the Animals, Dave Clark 5, all of them, the Motown groups, all of them, and everybody, in our minds, we said, yeah, we want some of that. And that's how this all began, and we took it and we ran with it, and we, thank you, Lord, had fantastic success with it at this particular level. There's different levels in the entertainment business as far as success is concerned. And at this level, which a lot of people just call regional, but at the same time, bands like us, bands like Faith Band, we had the opportunity to get success on a national level because of the kinds of concerts we were doing. Sure, they played they played one of the Roadmaster songs on American Bandstand with Dick Clark and everything. It's like, wow. We were freaking because that was like the pinnacle back in those days. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. That's great.
Yeah, that was good.
You remember JQ Hogs?
Oh, yes, I do. Wow. I haven't heard some of these names in a long time, but yes, I do.
Yeah, I remember you guys playing in there. I was in the band with
Right.
with Jay Wilfong.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Jay was the money man. He's the one that refurbished it from a furniture store into a like under 8 or under 21 place.
Underage club.
Yeah, right.
There wasn't no booze, but there he had a lot of good bands in there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that was a great day for the growth of bands, for the growth of, well, initially in those days when you're, starting up with the band and everything, initially it was imitation, and then imitation made way for innovation. And that's how the bands got going. And that's how the bands wound up getting their sound together, doing their originals and everything, putting out albums, putting out 45, selling them to gigs, whatever the case may be. But it starts with imitation and leads to innovation.
Wow, you nailed that, bro. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to play just a few minutes of something else. We played a little something from the Pure Funk reunion.
Yeah.
We're going to go back to 1972. Can you hear that?
I'm hearing it.
Oh man, they put a freaking Arby's commercial on it. Anyway, I don't even know if you knew this was on there, but it's the Pure Funk rock and roll medley from 1972.
You know what songs are in the medley?
I don't. I don't. Do you?
No,
I don't.
All right.
Let me see. Let me get the Arby's commercial off of here.
Well, I tell you, I love Arby's because I was around the days when Arby's was actual meat.
Yeah.
As opposed to what they got nowadays. I ain't saying it's bad because I eat it still, but I loved Arby's because you put that little that white kind of like saucy stuff, on there, and man, it was fantastic eating.
The horsey sauce.
Horsey sauce. That's exactly right, man.
Yes.
Golly, that was the best. And like I said, I remember Arby's when it was actual big old hunk of meat, and they'd be slicing it off of that big old hunk of meat.
Oh,
and then you get that beef sandwich. It was delicious.
Oh yeah.
All right. I'm gonna try to play this again here and see if I've got it turned up as loud as we can go. So that's the first 43 seconds of.
That sounds like a song I believe called "Hoy Hoy Hoy," as done by 10 Years After.
All right.
What a great name, Hoy Hoy Hoy.
Oh, that's a fantastic old blues song. 10 Years After picked it up and rocked it to the max. We were very fortunate in that day that we had this guitar player who was a monster on guitar, man. Just one of my favorites on guitar, and that's a guy named Rob Swaney. This guy could play anything, and he could pick as fast as anybody, and he just had a style that allowed him to be a standout in the kind of stuff that we were doing back then, whether it was copy material or development of originals.
Yeah, and Mike Reed was there from the beginning.
From the beginning, we started Frenchie and the Wee Wees together, along with a bunch of friends of ours from Shortridge High School, and we became the party band of the central Indianapolis all the way to the north side and the east side. Well, yeah, over toward the Speedway too, and that's how it all began for us. Just
Frenchie and the
throwing
Wee
parties.
Wees. Dude, what a great,
Frenchie and the Wee Wees,
what a
man.
great name, man.
That is.
Frenchie and the Wee Wees. And
Awesome.
you had some hair back then.
Oh, I had some hair. That was the beginning of the development of my hair back then. And back then, hair was kind of like a rebellion of sorts, and hair also gave you a look that could be either fear or folly. So it was something. I look at some of those pictures sometimes nowadays, and it's like, you got to be kidding me. Would you have, if you were a lady, if you would have, would you have taken this guy? Would you have taken this guy to meet your mom and dad? I don't think so. But we got by, and we just lived the era, because that was an
That's a
era
great way to
in
put it.
time.
Oh,
Yeah.
ERA instead of ERR.
Yeah,
it's not an error, it's
ERR, an
in
error.
time.
An error in time.
It was a fantastic time.
Hey, somebody, I talked to somebody shortly before we came on, and I almost forgot. They wanted me to make sure and tell you hello. Alan Kay.
Oh, yeah. I love Al. He's great, man. That dude, this is my personal opinion, that dude was as funny as anybody out there at the time. He was a stand-up comic, and I don't know, it's just kind of like us. I don't know what missed us or what we missed, but he was worthy of being up there with any of those guys that were developing in that day. I mean, he was opening up he did one of the things that a lot of comedians didn't do. He opened up for rock and roll bands. He opened up for Chicago all the time, and other rock and roll bands.
Yeah. Yeah, we've already done an episode with him, and we only got about halfway through.
Yeah.
But I mean, and the guy is so talented. We're talking on the phone like you are talking with us, and we mentioned somebody, and all of a sudden he's doing we mentioned Ozzy, and he went
right. Yeah, you used to do a fantastic Ozzy impersonation. Joe Cocker, he was at the pinnacle of Cocker impersonators, whatever you call them. But Alan Kay was just a dude who has an amazing depth of talent. And who knows, our time's not up. Who knows how somebody might pick that up down the line. But of our generation, he was an amazing standout.
Yeah, he was. He still is.
And he's still, his band, Alan Kay and Tricycle, are playing out around Indy still. And, and still drawing crowds, and deservedly so, because there's good players in that band. and Alan himself. Yeah, it really is. And it's so cool that so many people from that generation, that special generation, are still around and still sharing their gifts.
Yeah, I've been fortunate. I just closed down Smash Band in St. Louis. I've had various bands, and I had Smash Band DC when I was working in Washington, DC, and then I started up Smash Band St. Louis. That was a monster band. That was a 13-piece band. We were whooping everybody's ass, man. It was beautiful. And so I just been fortunate. For some odd reason, I'm not all that talented. I have a certain singing style. When applied correctly, then it fits. But I've been just blessed to have the most astounding array of fantastic musicians surrounding me, backing me up, leading me, and had a 55-year run as far as being in bands is concerned.
Hey, there's not many people that can say that.
Yeah.
I'm fortunate. Thank you, Lord, on that.
All the musicians
coming on to 50 years in the radio business.
Amen.
All the musicians in the band, you're right. Everybody was top notch.
Everybody pure funk.
Yeah.
Yeah, and therefore, Roadmaster.
Yeah. But man, I remember Rob, and he was always amazing. Man, that guy could play.
Yeah, exactly right.
Man, and he's still like teaching theory and stuff, isn't he?
I believe he is, but I talked to him. I'd say, at Toby Meyer's passing, I was speaking with Rob just prior to the funeral services and everything, and he was doing something I would have loved to have done, would love to do now, and he got himself one of these big old vans, and he fixed it up like, one of these traveling houses type of thing. And he's traveling to Western United States, living in his van.
Wow.
And he's living in the desert in Phoenix, Arizona. I lived in Phoenix for a few years, and that desert is a magnificent place to be. And he just got to do with his life as he wanted to, and he's thriving off of that, as should we all be thriving doing what we want to do.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
And you mentioned radio.
Yes, sir.
When Pure Funk and went into being Roadmaster, and then Roadmaster transitioned, it's not like it's not like you fell off the face of the earth. You became the biggest radio personality in Indianapolis at that time, and
well, I was fortunate in that one of the reasons I was picked to be a radio personality was I brought an audience with me, because we had built the audience off of all those years with Frenchie and the Wee Wees, with Pure Funk, with Roadmaster, and then I stepped off into the radio business with an opportunity that WNAP gave me, and I was able to bring an audience with me, put that on top of the audience that they already had, which was all of Indianapolis. It just helped me have a good success level that I would have never. Yeah, in those days, I couldn't stand DJs because they yacked over all the music and everything. And then finally, I got into the actuality of the art and science of DJing, and I understood why they did it that way. And once I was able to understand, then I applied my quote-unquote smash delivery to it all. And like I said, I'm coming on to 50 years, man. Who would have thunk?
And I read a quote one time that, let me get it, because I'm unprepared. It's rock and roll, so you don't really.
Yeah, you don't have to prepare, man.
No set list.
Right up.
You said that you were a rock and roll musician with a radio show.
Oh yeah. Once, because I had Smash Band in DC, and it was a really, really successful band, and it was just successful, man. We played everything in DC, and a guy who was interviewing me and says, "How is it to be a DJ with a band?" And he said, "It must be great." And I said, "Well, I'm not really a DJ with a band. I'm a musician with a radio show." and really that's what it was. And one of the reasons I was able to have great interviews with the various artists that would come into the stations that I worked was because they all kind of knew me as a musician, as opposed to, I'm saying this in the wrong way because everybody's got their own style and everything, but as opposed to a fan, a guy who's in awe of the fact that, oh my goodness, here's Bruce Springsteen, and it's kind of like what these guys knew, because as I studied them for the sake of the interview, they would study me for the sake of understanding who they're going to be with. And they saw I was a musician, and with that, there was a respect that led to great interviews that you couldn't do, because musicians speak musician language. And when you're able to understand the language, you're able to provide a theater of the mind experience for those listening, because they can see what you're talking about in their mind's eye.
Right.
Yep.
And there's power. There's so much power in that,
Yeah, definitely.
And the power of radio has never really been denied. right from the start with, the War of the Worlds thing.
Yeah.
Back
Yeah,
when,
exactly.
you know,
Right.
that showed the power of radio.
Oh yeah.
And everybody keeps saying radio's going to die, and radio hasn't died.
Correct.
It's morphed, it's changed, and you're still in it in St. Louis.
Yeah, I'm still doing it in St. Louis at a station I love. It's my mix 94.3 FM, the best mix of the greatest hits of the 60s and 70s. All the great music, man. All the great music. And,
yeah.
I'm fortunate like that to still be able to keep in it and still have my fan base here in the St. Louis region. And I'm just blessed with that, still being able to be accepted on television as I have been, and doing the various things that I do. Fortunately, enjoying everything I do, even when the stuff ain't right, even when the stuff ain't as good as it should be. It's always enjoyable, just because it comes from the creativity of the mindset that you're delivering.
Well said.
And speaking of which, we want to end with one final little bit of a song.
Okay.
This was I don't know if you'll recognize this or not.
I think that's Mac, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Who can sing like Fat Boy do? That's it right there.
Oh man, we love this song and have loved it for 50 years.
Well, I appreciate that because the guys would do all the music. Tony was responsible for most of the music, and of course the other musicians in the band would deliver as they would deliver and contribute as they would contribute. My thing for the most part was the lyrics. And so I couldn't think of nothing to put to this music that the band had put forth, the Bone had put forth. I thought, well, I'll sing about myself. And so I made up this whole deal because I was not one of these thin, pretty boys of rock and roll in those days, but I was kind of like a husky guy is what they used to call guys like me. And, we'd have to get portly pants and this kind of stuff. And it's one of the reasons I wore Oshkosh Bagosh as opposed to any other kind of wear on stage. But, anybody can sing the blues, but who can sing like Fat Boy do? So that's what the whole song was about. All these guys are really great, great singers. But me, Fat Boy at the time, I was different than those singers. But who could sing like that? I couldn't sing like them. I knew that. But could they sing like me? No. Because when I was born, the skies was filled with thunder.
That's great.
The doctors could not believe their eyes and ears.
Yes.
As I went through life, folks around me, they kept doing a double take. Because everywhere I went, the earth would start to quake. Because I'm as bad can be. And there was a double entendre on that bad. Because back then, if you were a bad dude, you were a fighter. But at the same time, I'm bad in relation to the way the great singers could sing because I couldn't sing like that. So I'm bad can be. Ain't nobody as bad as me.
That's awesome.
And who can sing like Fat Boy do?
Anybody can sing the blues, but who can sing like Fat Boy do?
And the guy
harmonies.
That's what I was about to go to. The fact that go ahead.
Yeah, that where you say when they sing at in harmony. Who can sing like Fat Boy do? That's sweet.
That's right.
Man. Those are beautiful harmonies. You guys always had great harmonies.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, the guys were great singers, great harmonists as was needed. Boney understood the music structure and the facilitation of putting different kind of voices together in a harmonious way, and we're able to sing songs that I know I couldn't have sing, with really hardly any other band. I was fortunate when I left the band that I was able to transition into a band called Champion, and they were just a phenomenal band on the level of a Leonard Skinner, and we kicked ass just like we kicked ass with Roadmaster, with Faith Band, with everybody. And we just were at a time when like I said, it starts with imitation, goes to innovation, and that is your creativity. That is your own original type of music being put forth. And just every band that I was ever in transitioned well through those levels as far as their musicality is concerned.
All right. You have something? Okay. One final thing. We're both grandpas. We're both parents.
Yeah.
And as a proud parent, as a proud dad, you want to shout out your famous son?
Yes.
Oh yeah. It's my son Abraham. He's an actor out there in La La Land in Hollywood. And in fact, this was wild. His latest movie. You remember that movie? Rust, where what's his name shot the lady and killed her
Alec
on the
Baldwin.
set.
Baldwin.
Alec Baldwin. And Abraham's one of the cowboys in the movie. Wow. There. Like holy mackerel! Wow. So that was kind of unique in its own way, because the movie has that tinge of unfortunateness about it because of the death of that lady.
Yeah.
And yet the movie got. I don't say this in an inappropriate fashion. It's just the reality of the business. But the movie got all kinds of reviews because of the fact that this happened to that lady. Very unfortunate.
Yeah.
But for the movie, it was advertising of a massive nature. And I would imagine that helped with the box office on that whole deal.
Wow.
I got my other son, Isaac. He is a financial, mathematical genius out there in Charleston, South Carolina. And then my daughter is a wife, and she's getting ready to be a mother, and she's going to just carry on the names of our family. And she's out there in Austin, Texas. I've been blessed to have 3 wonderful kids. I guess you guys knew I lost my wife a little while back.
Yeah.
And as much as I would love to have them back, have our whole house back together, I've just been blessed to be able to carry on. And like I said, been in this business, the band business. I stopped Smash Band. I call all my bands Smash Band now because I was in all those bands, so it's Smash Band in a way.
Yeah.
And so I got 55 years out of all the bands, and like I said, I'm just short of 50 years now in the radio business. And once I hit 50, I just may retire after that, as far as time and the entertainment at this particular level is concerned.
Cool. Well, if so, it'll be well deserved, man. Thank you so very much for giving us some of your time.
Well, I appreciate you guys even wanting it. So thank you very much for the honor of being on with you.
No, it was great. We appreciate it. And any final words?
Well, I just remember Indiana and those days. We were able to really make a name for ourselves because of the audience, because of the fans, because of the support, like I said, of Top Banana Talent, Sunshine Promotions, WNAP Radio. We just had a great surrounding, and it all began with the fans, with Frenchie and the Wee Wees in 1967. And we were able to go ahead and make lives for ourselves, as odd and or magnificent as those lives were, because it's a music business. Yeah. I just thank everybody along the way. I just thank everybody along the way, because whether it's on the positive, whether it's on the negative, and everything that spans the line in between those two situations, you learn from each side. And so from that, you're able to make the delivery of what you are, as in my particular case, an entertainer, a businessman, or whatever you decide you want to be. I'm just grateful to everybody in the first place. And in a way, I'm grateful to you guys in these latter days, because, thanks for your interest, because
Thank you,
it's
man.
been a while since I've been associated with anything in Indiana, because I've been gone for the longest time.
Yeah.
I think the last thing
You're
was when we
remembered.
did that Ricky Bennick
Yeah.
benefit party and everything. And
Yeah.
that was the last thing I did over there. And I couldn't get to Toby's funeral because I was in the hospital. I messed up my leg the day before and sliced half of it off. And golly, that was an amazing injury. But that kind of broke my heart not to be able to, because we just had a great camaraderie. We just had a great camaraderie, and we're able to take that to a business level that gave us a good success.
If anything, we may try to put something together, and if anything does come together, we will definitely extend an invitation to you to come back over here and get up on the stage one more time.
Hey, don't threaten me.
Okay, all right. Now this is the very final thing, because this just popped into my head. Did you lead an Axl Rose protest?
Yeah. It was fantastic, because it was
I love it.
Axl Rose and Guns and Roses was playing at the Riverport Amphitheater here in St. Louis. In fact, a friend of mine, and golly, I was cleaning out a bunch of stuff yesterday, because I'm trying to clean my stuff out before I die, so my kids don't have to go through all of it and say, and that way I can give them the good stuff and all that. Anyway, I found this magazine that Stumpy was the guy. He was with some of the motorcycle crew out there, and Stumpy.
He was the guy that sued him.
Yeah, well, yeah, Stumpy had a camera, and back then nobody had phones with cameras. And Stumpy was down there right in front of Axl Rose, and he was taking pictures of Axl Rose and everything. And Axl pointed him out and everything, and said, "Hey, get that camera away from that guy. Get that camera." Nobody did, and security didn't move fast enough, so Axl jumps off the stage and gets in a fight with Stumpy. Now, Stumpy's a fighter. I know Stumpy, and I know Stumpy. So, Axl Rose is kind of a fighter. I'll never forget when I first met him. I was working at MTV, and I was doing an interview because I was hosting the Headbangers Ball, and in comes Axl Rose. And I introduced myself. Where are you from? He says, Lafayette, Indiana. I said, "You kidding me? I'm from Indianapolis." He said, "I know. I used to come watch your band over at some lakeside park or something over in Terre Haute, where he was from." And it was really a kind of a respect that was gained at that particular point in time, because he helped us tear down the MTV studios, and that went down in history. And then after him and Stumpy got in that fight, it just started a humongous riot, which was magnificent from my perspective, getting to watch, because security, they kind of protected us because we promoted the shows to get all these people there and everything. So Axl and Stumpy are in this fight, and it winds up that Axl gets mad, walks off the stage, and then they do the second album. I think that first one was off of Appetite for Destruction. They do the second album, and he says on the second album, he says, "F you, St. Louis." And so when he said "F you, St. Louis," I said, "Well, you know what? Rock and roll community, we got to say F you, Axl." And so we had like 3,000 people come down to the Arch grounds, and we all gave 3,000 people gave Axl Rose the finger, and it was like worldwide news and everything. It was just something magnificent. I got the pictures in one of my scrapbooks over here, which I hope to find as I'm cleaning my storage unit out and everything. But it was really phenomenal, because of the fact that he gave us the capabilities to put a promotion together out of this. And at the same time, not only did we get relief of saying F you, in my younger days, I'd have gone ahead and dropped the F-bomb, but I'd saying F you, Axl. They got great publicity off of it too. And then eventually everything just kind of like simmered down. Everything was cool. And they came back and played. And of course they play every year, every other year here. And it's always packed. And they always do interviews with me about the whole situation and everything. And it's wild to be known for certain events like that in your life. For example, MTV thing, the tear down of the studio.
Right.
That Rolling Stone magazine dubbed it one of the top 40 greatest moments in MTV history. And little did I know that when I proceeded to tell them how to accomplish this, that they would do it, and then it would be, just beautiful on TV airwaves. And then, like I said, one of the top 40 moments in MTV history, man. I never thought I'd gone down into the rock and roll business like that. Fantastic.
That's insane. And thank you for extending it and adding that part of the story.
So let me do a final question with you guys.
All right.
So tell me about Indiana Rocks. What's the show all about? What do you spotlight? Because I got a general idea about it, but let's say you got 3 minutes to deliver it to a producer who's looking to see exactly what you guys are into. Describe, if you would.
It is the past, present, and future of Indiana rock and roll music.
Yeah, right on.
And
very good.
It's the stories of the personalities, the bands, the music, the venues, and the fans.
Right on.
And we don't want to show up at memorial services. We want to honor people while we're all still around.
Exactly.
And so we try to tell those stories, and people have been gracious in coming on and telling their stories. And we got some people lined up that are going to be coming on, and it's just been a blessing to kind of extend, I never got into music because I was great at music. I thought music was great, and I want to be a part of it.
Exactly right. So bravo on that. I got to say, if somebody, when I play this for my St. Louis audience,
hello, St. Louis.
Wants to know how they get to listen to you guys. How does that play?
We're on YouTube, and it is the American Doofus channel. Doofus is DUFUS.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, well, they can't really make too much fun of you when you make fun of yourself. So,
well, that's a good point. You beat them to the punch,
right? And the internet can be a pretty cruel place.
Yes, it can.
So we kind of scoot around it with self-deprecation. But yeah, it's the American Doofus channel, and it's the show is simply called Indiana Rocks. Right. This is the 20th episode. They're all listed in an episode list. So if people start getting into it, they can binge watch,
Yeah. Right on.
Yeah.
Well, bravo again to you guys.
Thanks,
and
man.
I salute you for number 1, starting this up. Number 2, keeping it rolling. And number 3, moving onward into the future with it for everybody, because this is an asset for everyone, the young, the old, and even the new, and then those who are to be in the future, because this can be replayed for those who aren't even born yet.
Right. Yeah.
Fantastic, man.
We appreciate you, man. Thanks, Smash.
All right.
Thanks,
we appreciate you. We'll talk to you again. You're always welcome to come on at any time. All you gotta do is call.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Blessings on you guys.
Blessings on you, my friend. Thank you.
All right.
Bye. Caller number 9, our winner, the guy that got the free interview on the Indiana Rock Show. It happened to be Adam Smasher who was caller number.
The lucky winner.
That was great. Oh my gosh, that was great.
He's awesome.
Oh, wait a minute. He's calling back. Hello.
Hey, nicely done, guys.
Thank you. We're still on.
Oh, we are?
Yeah, well, yeah, we are. We're shutting down. We just want to say thank you, everybody, for watching. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the share. It was a great episode. Leave a comment below. And Smash, here's how we end up each and every episode. We love you guys. It is a dark world.
Be a light.